Bridget. Today I'll be taking part in Celina's Essence of the Moon VR called Ancestral Roots. Now, I've learned my tarot and oracle card addiction doesn't even compare to some of you, so I'll be combining some questions with the same decks, and I'll also be trying to work on updating my collection to make you guys proud. So thank you, Celina, and congrats on creating your first tag. It's been a lot of fun. So let's get into the questions. And I'm already combining the first few of them, which is a deck that connects you to your bloodline or family history, and a deck you use for Samhain, Day of the Dead, or Ancestral altars. And that one is the Mabon Oracle deck. It's by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. They do have the whole series of the Wheel of the Year, but I just really resonated the most with this one. I think it's the Litho one that I also want to add into my list. It's a nice chunky guidebook here. Here are the backings. Definitely gives autumn vibe to me with like the crows and the moon, the orange. And I just love the style of this deck that they went with. I usually like the soft illustration style. And I also like to use this as a deck for shadow work. They give a lot of great insight, and what's nice is that they do also have a little quote at the end of each card to give further information so you can intuitively guess which one you get. And I do also like the inclusivity of this deck too. This one's very sweet. Yeah, overall I really connect with this deck. As you can see, it's already chipping. I use it quite a lot. This is the inside. Question 2 is a deck that channels messages from ancestors or guides. And you'll know by now that if I don't like the box, it's gonna go in a bag. That's just how I am for me in my practice. And the deck I use for that sometimes is the Citadel deck. It's a nice sized guidebook too. Here are the backings, and I just think the shape of this deck is unique, and I love the illustrations, and I'm a sucker for the gilded details. And it's also an RPG deck, so that's also a role-playing game, and you can use it to create characters for your stories or D&D sessions you might have coming up. I also use it to ask archetype spreads. So which one should I embody today? And the guidebook gives a nice scenery description of the world too, and some spreads in the back as well. So this is one of those decks that I like to use to add a bit more whimsy to my readings with my ancestors or guides. Question 4 is a deck you use for healing generational trauma or cycles. And that's the Kind Oracle deck, which I just recently got. And I did an unboxing of. These are the backings. What does kindness look like? And I'll make sure that I get decks that I really resonate with the illustrations, because if I'm not gonna like the style, I have learned that I'm not gonna use it. So I try to be particular about the kind of decks that I put in to my practice. But it's also good to try new things, and can always give it to someone else. So I just love the details in these illustrations. You could read with this intuitively, I believe. They do a really good job with the visuals in each card telling a story. And I believe we can learn a lot from trees and the land around us. So that's another reason why I like to bring out this deck for generational traumas or cycles. And it also touches on that with the different colored cards too. Each of the colors means something within your reading. Yeah, that's this Living Kind Oracle deck, and I got it from Etsy. I'll also leave all these links in the description. Question 5 is a deck that helped you understand your soul lineage, which I don't really have, and I would love to get more decks that relate to my lineages. So I did just back the Ukrainian Night Tarot Kickstarter. That's by Old God's Temple. My whole life I've been told that we're from Russia, but then I just recently learned a few months ago we're actually Ukrainian. So I've been delving deep into that folklore and the culture of it more. So I'm excited to finally get that deck, I believe, next year. Question 6, a deck you inherited, were gifted, or felt that was meant for you. I just recently purchased Happy Halloween Tarot. I saw Debbie's video on Celina gifting her that, and I knew instantly I needed to have it. Plus it was on sale, so, you know, zero self-control there. But I've been really enjoying this deck for my readings. These are the backings. It's got like a dark gray edging. And the style is just so stinking cute. And this is, despite the style, definitely a tough love kind of deck I've been vibing with here. Which I definitely need. So I feel like this has been perfect for me. And it's also my first deck that also combines words in Spanish. So that's been good because I've been wanting to learn Spanish. But most of them are in English. Kind of disappointed it's not all in Spanish. But overall, I really enjoy this deck. Look how cute. I love the little ghosties. Like, it makes it a lot of fun and not scary. As it should be. And I just love the inside of the box. I love candy corn. Question 7, a deck that represents your cultural roots or ancestral land. That is the Sicilian Scopa deck. Scopa is a card game, but I found out that they also use it for divination in Italy. And I've been trying to find someone that would know how to read these. So if you know anyone, please let me know. Here are the backings. And I love how small they are. So this is a game, but it is also like tarot where it has the cups, the pentacles, the wands, the swords. So I can see how people can use this in a reading for sure. But I'd love to delve deeper into that for my Italian roots. Oh, there's a little dog. So that is the scope of deck. Question 8, a card that has become a personal symbol of your lineage. And I kind of broke the rule and had to choose 2. So that's from both the Mabon Oracle, and these are the cards that usually come up the most when I'm doing ancestor readings. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. That was wool. And the other one is elderberries. I get this one a lot. There it is, a knowing within bone. Allow it to guide you. When these come up a lot is a symbol that I know they're in my space. And no matter how many times I put them back, they will come up. 2 more questions left. Question 9, a deck that calls in the wisdom of the grandmothers or elders. I don't use this deck as much, but it is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards by Kylie Bray. It has a nice incantation if you wish to use that. Nice size guidebook. Here are the backings, they're so pretty. I've been looking recently for more ancestral decks that are more inclusive. And I don't use this deck as much as I should because it does strike a chord in me a lot of the time. So it has to be a day where I can just relax after. And I know I'm not going anywhere. I can just unwind. And the Occult Tarot deck does that too. It has a different feeling. It's heavier. So I definitely need to get back into using this deck more. And question number 10, the last question, is what does ancestral work mean to you and how do your cards support it? For me, ancestral work doesn't mean just working with family. For me, it means working with the land I live on and to learn from those before me. Not only the people on this land before me, but the native trees, plants, and animals too. It's important for me to build respect and a deep connection, as where I live is also an important part of my journey, and I think that's also another reason why I resonate so much with nature related decks too. This has been Celina, Essence of the Moon VR tag called Ancestral Roots. I will also leave the tag in the title and description, so feel free to check out other people's channels. It's been a lot of fun to see everyone's deck collection and how they use theirs in their own practice. So thanks again, Celina, for such a great tag. And thank you for watching. Bye.